What the Bro, I think I got permanently suspended on Twitch. For that. Is that bad? Damn. I didn't know that.
It says indefinite, or what is it?
It's like, yeah, permanently suspended.
Jack Doherty is teetering on the edge, and this time it isn't just internet noise. His public image is unraveling in real time, and every new day adds another piece that makes a comeback look less believable. The wave started with platforms tightening up, streams that once printed money turned into liabilities, and the patience from the places that hosted him finally snapped. The message was simple: enough chaos. That alone would shake most creators, but with Jack, it only exposed how much of his brand leaned on shock value and impulse. Then the personal stories hit. His ex, McKinley Richardson, spoke up, and the tone online shifted fast. She painted a picture of manipulation and control behind the scenes, and whether people knew the details or not, the vibe around Jack changed overnight. Brands that used to welcome him with open arms went silent. Creators who loved the views from being around him started backing off. Event lists that once featured his name suddenly didn't. The always-on millionaire persona he pushed for years began to look more like a mask that slipped. What really stings is how predictable the spiral feels. When you build everything on escalation, bigger stunts, louder drama, heavier flexes, you eventually hit a wall. And when that wall hits back, the audience stops cheering and starts keeping score. That's where Jack is now. He's tried to flip the narrative and say it's all a witch hunt, but the receipts piling up make it hard to sell that story. The more he talks, the more people point to the trail he left.
Makes it talkable. No, there's definitely a strategy with what he is, but I also know from firsthand from people who hung out with him, he's just a dick. It's not just this, oh, I'm a strategist. Oh, well, I'm this piece of, let's use this, because he's just a dickhead.
So I will say in his
Listen,
defense,
anyone that's willing to do what he did to bothering people on the street, you're a dickhead. You're just a bad person.
And this is just the opening chapter, because the ban everyone's arguing about isn't even the platform you think it is. Here's the twist most people miss. The permanent ban he's dealing with isn't on Twitch, it's on Kick. That's the platform that shut the door and threw away the key, and it changed the whole conversation from temporary timeout to you're not welcome here. What throws people off is how calm he acts about it. He talks like it's a speed bump, not a wall, hinting that he could slide back onto Twitch after a year like nothing happened. That confidence isn't coming from accountability. It's coming from the same ego that pushed him into this mess. And the optics around him aren't helping. He tried popping up where the big names were, but that didn't go as planned. After party doors closed, streamers who used to flirt with the chaos suddenly wanted distance. The vibe was cold and everyone could feel it. It wasn't just the ban, it was the humiliation that followed. Clips circulated, whispers turned to headlines. The energy shifted from that wild kid who gets views to liability nobody wants to touch. But even with the backlash, he keeps projecting that comeback arc. You can almost see the playbook: take the heat, disappear just long enough, then reappear with the same antics, louder than before. The problem is, audiences remember, platforms remember, and the people he burned along the way definitely remember. If he does get that second shot somewhere else, it won't be because he earned it. It'll be because controversy still sells. The real question is whether anyone wants to buy it now, because the next part shows why his attitude is making everything worse.
What the Bro, I think I got permanently suspended on Twitch. For that. Is that bad? Damn. I didn't know that.
It says indefinite, or what is it?
It's like, yeah, permanently suspended.
It says permanently?
Yeah.
Not better. What really turns people off isn't just the bans, it's how he talks about them. Jack treats consequences like they're content. He grins through the fallout and calls it a break, as if getting tossed from a platform is some kind of scheduled vacation. That shrug-it-off energy reads like zero accountability, no lesson learned, no pause to reflect, just the same gassed-up persona, acting like the rules don't apply because the numbers did once. And the more he minimizes it, the more the audience sees the pattern. Push the line, get caught, play it cool, repeat. Even his answers to fans show how far removed he is from reality. When someone pressed him about Neon and whether the girls have fallen off, he didn't offer any humility or clarity, just a cocky reply that doubled down on the brand-first attitude. It's the same script every time. Nothing's his fault, nothing's that serious, and anyone calling it out is just hating. That deflection might have worked when the hype was fresh.
How does that even happen? What? Over like going in there? How? I didn't even do anything when I was in there. I don't even give a fuck. Not that I even made money off Twitch. Events code of conduct. And unacceptable behavior at Twitch event. Oh, it's 1 year. Wait, Mike, it's 1 year. 1 year?
Not bad.
It says violation expiration. Oh!
Oh, that's what I get unbanned.
Let's go.
We both get unbanned.
It's a 1-year ban. I get a 1-year break.
But once people start connecting dots, the charm wears thin fast. The bigger issue is what this signals to platforms and brands. If a creator won't take a ban seriously, how can anyone trust them not to light another fire the second they're back? That it's just a timeout mindset is exactly what makes gatekeepers slam the door harder. And when someone's whole identity runs on shock value, there's always pressure to top the last headline. That's when bad decisions become worse ones, because escalation is the only fuel left. So when he hints at a triumphant return, it rings hollow. The receipts are still up, the clips still circulate, the mood has changed. If he really wanted a second act, he'd show remorse and slow the pace. Instead, he laughs in the face of it and keeps the heat going, which is why the next chapter says a lot about where this is heading, because outside the stream, without a chat to back him up, the tough talk starts to look shaky the moment you remove one person from the picture. All the fight talk sounds bold until you remove the one constant in Jack's real-world drama, the bodyguard.
Jack, what happened you and Neon? Are you guys still beefing or are you guys cool?
I guess so, man. The beef goes on, you know?
Yo, why are the girls going after Neon, not you? Like, they're leaving you. How?
I guess
Why?
so, bro. They're gone, bro. They're never coming back. It sucks.
It sucks. Why not enter the TwitchCon?
Huh?
Why you not enter the inside TwitchCon?
I was in there for 30 minutes and I got a 1-year ban.
That's the safety net he leans on every time things get heated, online or off. The pattern's obvious. Loud energy when security's nearby, silence when it isn't. And the moments people replay the most only make that gap look bigger. Remember the chain incident everyone brings up, a $300 flex gone in a flash while the protection stood there with nothing to show for it. If that's the backup plan, what happens under real pressure in a ring? That's why the boxing fantasy is hard to buy. The persona is built on fearlessness, but the receipts say otherwise. Fans aren't dumb. They can tell when confidence is coming from cameras and company, not from the person himself. Without the entourage, the tone changes, the posture changes, the stakes get real, and the audience keeps asking the same question. If the guy guarding your image can't guard your chain, who's guarding you when it's just you? The irony is brutal. He wants the credit for being fearless, but the record shows a reliance that undercuts the whole act. And that's exactly what sets the stage for the next escalation. Because another creator isn't just talking, he's pressing the issue, publicly and directly, and the room for hiding behind a +1 is shrinking fast.
Hey, listen, this is a message for Jack Doherty. I'm gonna milk this a little bit longer while we have it. I'm open to a sparring session. I'm open to coming to Miami, wherever you want it to take place on your dime, and I'll pull up just me.
But you're a grown-ass man, bro. Let me fight you now. Bro, let me fight.
What?
Let me fight.
Why you call me a grown-ass man?
Because you're a grown-ass man. He's literally scared.
No, I'm not.
That's where Canel steps in and flips the energy from talk to pressure. He isn't making vague threats or fishing for clout. He's calling Jack out in plain sight and daring him to show up without the safety blanket. No staged walk-ins, no crowd control. Just face the music man to man. And the timing couldn't be worse for Jack. With the bodyguard narrative already hanging over his head, every new challenge looks like a test he can't pass unless someone else is standing in front of him. The streets around these events have their own scoreboard. People watch who pulls up, who stalls, who needs an entourage to act brave. Canel knows that. He's playing it smart, pushing the one button Jack can't really answer without exposing the gap between his online bravado and real-world presence. If Jack dodges, it confirms what everyone's been saying. If he shows and anything goes left, it's another clip, another headline, another L. And that's the trap. There's no winning move when your whole image depends on a buffer. Either he stays in character and hides behind security, or he risks a moment he can't control.
Yeah, is he behind me? Where's he at?
Would you pull up on him?
I would pull up on him, but like no security, like I'll pull up on him.
That's why this pull-up talk lands so hard. It's not just a fight invite, it's a credibility check he can't finesse, which is exactly why the conversation around him keeps getting darker. Because outside of theatrics and noise, the industry is deciding he's more headache than hype. This is the part where the hype machine grinds to a stop. The same doors that used to fly open are closing before he even gets near them. Brands don't want to gamble on a walking headline. Event organizers don't want to spend the night putting out fires. Creators who once tolerated the chaos for views are quietly stepping back because the association costs more than it pays. That's how you know it's deeper than drama, when the ecosystem that thrives on noise decides your noise is too expensive. The legal cloud hanging over him makes it worse. Nobody's saying handcuffs are guaranteed, but the way he moves keeps inviting heat. Every stunt, every confrontation, every it's just content moment adds risk. You can feel the shift in how people talk about him. Less excitement, more caution. And the personal allegations from McKinley didn't didn't just dent his image, they rewired how audiences interpret everything else. Even if viewers don't know every detail, they know the vibe changed, and vibes drive the internet more than press releases ever will. There's a point where the storyline stops being misunderstood and starts looking like a pattern, and that's what he's up against now. Platforms hate patterns like this. Sponsors hate them more. Once that label sticks, reckless, uncoachable liability, it takes a miracle to peel it off. He's still trying to talk his way into a redemption arc, but talk isn't enough when the receipts are archived across 1,000 channels. And if he keeps chasing attention the same way, the next headline won't be about a stream. It'll be about consequences he can't clip out. But the clearest sign of where things stand isn't in boardrooms or DMs. It's in the comments that used to gas him up and now won't let him breathe. You can tell when a creator loses the room. The tone shifts from hype to heckle, from he's wild to he's finished. That's where Jack is. Scroll any thread with his name, and it's wall-to-wall roast. People aren't debating the details anymore, they're dunking on the pattern. They bring up the chain clip, they joke about the hair pulls, they predict the bodyguard tell-all the second the checks stop. It's not just critics either. Casual viewers are piling on because ridicule is easier than redemption. Momentum used to do all the work for him. Now it's working against him. Every upload becomes a referendum. Every public moment gets freeze-framed, memed, and filed under proof. That feedback loop is brutal because it starves the one thing he needs most: benefit of the doubt. Even when he tries to pivot, the replies are already loaded. Too late, too scripted, too fake. Once the audience decides you're a caricature, it's almost impossible to convince them there's a person underneath. And this is the cost of living on escalation. When your currency is spectacle, people eventually stop seeing you as a human and start treating you like a weekly episode. If the episode flops, they tune out. If it's messy, they tune in. But to laugh, not to listen. That's the trap he's in now. He can either keep pushing the gas and hope the algorithm rewards it, or hit the brakes and risk disappearing. Neither path guarantees a win. But the next part is the real question, the one only the audience can answer. So where does this actually end? The way things look now, Jack isn't fighting a single scandal. He's fighting a reputation that keeps confirming itself. Platforms have limits, brands have memories, audiences have receipts. If he keeps treating consequences like content, the window for a real second act closes for good. And even if a door cracks open somewhere, it won't fix the core problem, the pattern that got him here. Without real accountability and a total reset, any comeback just turns into another rerun the internet's already seen. There's still a version of this story where he steps back, owns the mess, and rebuilds quietly. But that takes humility, patience, and respect for lines he's spent years crossing. If he can't do that, the next headlines write themselves. Less about streams, more about fallout he can't talk around. For creators watching, there's a lesson baked in. Chaos buys attention, not trust. And once trust is gone, even the algorithm can't save you. So what do you think? Does he have it in him to change? Or is this the final chapter just waiting to be titled? Drop your take below. If you're rocking with the breakdowns, hit like, sub, and share. More stories coming soon.